education, but people who are teaching not because they want to, but because they can't find anything else to do?
Thank you very much, and I know you put me on the spot. I'm going to find a way of doing on the spot. Generally, let me just say this. Most of Nigerians are morally bankrupt. We always blame government for this, government for that. Nigerians have very good policies. Those who are implementing the policies have the problem. To compare with any other parts of the world, just like you said, I've been out for too long. Just come back. And what I found on the ground is not that encouraging. If those you put in place to implement some policies, they are not what they're supposed to do, definitely you won't get any good result. Government is not doing this, not doing that, things like this are happening, but at the same time, the implementer, the teachers, to be honest with you, and I believe that is why AUC says that if you don't have your PhD, you cannot teach the universities. In US, for instance, even for high school teaching, you must have your PhD. But in Nigeria, even those you find there, like she said, I agree with her. If we have to do any assessment of all the universities in Nigeria, I guarantee you won't find up to 10% that are fully qualified to teach. Even those that are qualified also, are they actually taking this very seriously to do their job? It involves you lesson plan, not repeating notes that you used 10, 20 years ago. Things are changing all over the world, like you said. We are very far behind. If you cannot teach your class with the new things on the ground, how do you want children to learn? They can't move anywhere. So it is very wrong to actually just hire somebody because the person wants to teach. Most of them are not qualified to teach in the universities. And there are a lot of work that needs to be done all across. Some universities are better, but generally,
where are the good ones? Because there is serious concern about both public and private universities in Nigeria. A number of private universities, they run like glorified primary, not even secondary schools. They run like glorified primary schools where the children, these young adults, where they're treated like they're babies and where they're not given the things that make it possible for them to reason logically and for themselves, where they're not exposed to the kind of things that their peers anywhere else in the world are allowed to, do things in a certain way.
If you still say you still condemn the teachers, you still have some good ones among them, but they're very few. And then when you are in a system whereby majority of people are bankrupt mentally, you will soon be part of that. Regardless how much effort you try to make, you don't get nowhere. The good ones are there, but they are being consumed by the bad ones. And what needs to be done in this country, honestly speaking, is to actually complete. The good ones are around. They are even outside the country. Most of us are trying to come back now to see what you can give back to the community. Even with our age, you say, okay, let's just go there and do whatever needs to do and make some sacrifices. But the government has to do better. The private university, they are doing better. Because in the recruitment, they make sure they recruit the best. And that's why they reached out to me when I was in the US to come back here. I was all the way from there. But can they pay the price? They found me.
Okay.
Or can they pay the price? They can't. However, those who actually are committed, who want to actually work in this country and give back, they will forget about the pay and the stuff like that. When I first fired, I look at him, I show my wife, you say, well, you want to bring in 1 week. It's what I'm going to bring in 1 month. So I said, well, just forget about that. Let's go and give what we can give to the community. So the good ones are there. Nigeria has to make some sacrifices, especially those of them who are abroad, who come back home, but are they willing to come? And also there are some things that needed in the infrastructure in the schools that have to be in place. If you have a computer in your school and it's not working, there's no internet, how do you want to make it work? So the power supply is there that actually have to kick in all this network that we are not doing now. I think there is a lecturer in one of the Eastern universities who do what you just suggested, sending ACE assignments through the telephone, which means you can reach anywhere. So these are the kind of innovations that teachers have to be doing to make sure we move forward in this education lapses in the country.
Now, let's go one step back. Let's go to the secondary schools. Just recently, cut-off marks were announced for entrance to Unity schools. And I must say that I